What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back for a retro review. This is going to be Falcon Crest Season 2, Episode 5. So, they have bailed Cole out of jail, honey. And he has been, like I said, we saw in the last episode, he was being charged with murder, but they have bailed him out of jail, okay? Now, Richard is using the globe as his own personal attack system against a Falcon Crest and everything that he feels is connected to Falcon Crest. So he printed an article about Falcon Crest underpaying their employees, and then he also was printing an article about Cole getting arrested, and of course every salacious thing he could come up with. It's turning the globe into more of a tabloid, where yes, technically what he's saying is true, but he putting his own little spin on it, right? And of course everybody's upset. Chase is upset, Angela's upset for their own different reasons, but they both upset. Now, Emma done called, right, to talk to Julia. And Julia, her little snitch tail, gonna get the phone over to Angela. And Emma hung up, honey. Emma hung up. Emma ain't got time for them, okay? Down to Chase's house. Maggie is still working on this daggone screenplay, honey. She can't get it together. Vicky tail is running. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and get Vicky out the way. Y'all know how I feel about Vicky. Now, Vicky been running ever since Fernando left. Was that the boy name? Fernando, Miguel, Mario. Mario was his name. Anyway, Maggie gonna say, have you talked to Mario? Vicky gonna look at Maggie like, girl, you know he ain't coming back. She said, well, is that why you're running? You're running away. Your pain. She was like, running just make me feel good. Now, she's out running. Honey, she got on some $20 sneakers trying to run 20 miles, okay? She's getting these cramps. She ran into old dude. Did I write his name down? I tried to write his name down for y'all, child. Nick, okay? She runs into Nick. Nick tells her these shoes are absolutely no good. You're going to keep getting shin splints and everything else because they're not the right support. He said, listen, meet me tomorrow morning down to the shoe store and I will show you the right shoes. You'll thank me later. So the next morning we see Nick getting ready to go out running. Now Nick got a female situation. I don't know if it's a wife or a girlfriend, but it is clearly a female situation. She said, I thought today was your rest day. You ran yesterday. He was like, listen, I need to run again today. She said, you know you can't run away from our problems. And he was like, listen, don't nag me. I got stuff to do. He goes off to meet up with Vicky. He buys Vicky the sneakers. He won't let Vicky pay him back. He said, listen, I got it. You're good. And Vicky does everything in her power to try to hook up with that man. She was like, well, first she said, I'll run with you. Well, first she said, let me treat you to lunch since you won't let me pay you back for the sneakers. Then she says, well, let me treat you to breakfast. Then he was like, nah, I'm good. Then she says, well, let's run together. He was like, nah, I got some stuff to do. She said, well, maybe we can go running tomorrow. So I guess that's going to be a little entanglement that Vicky going to get into, child. I really thought Vicky was gone by now, but I guess she's still around. I don't know how long Vicky stay around, but I really don't think I remember her. Listen, we got to get rid of Vicky. Anyway, now down to the winery. Richard, he done called Julia to try to have lunch, and Julia is like, listen, I got your number. What you want to talk to me about? Why are you calling me? What is going on? And some of this lighting. I don't like this lighting. Do I like that better? Anyway. And Richard says, you know, Richard was like, listen, you my half sister. I just want to get to know you. And Julia was like, boy, bye. Like, I ain't stupid. I know you got an ulterior motive. And the way you writing about Falcon Crest in the paper, I don't know if I want to get to know you. But he convinces her to meet him up for lunch. Now, while he's on the phone talking to Julia, Chase busts down his door. Like, listen, you going to stop putting my son on the front page and writing these lies. And Richard was like, well, what lie did I write? Wasn't your son arrested for murder? Like, did I get that wrong? And Chase was like, well, being arrested and being convicted are two different things. You writing like it's a foregone conclusion that my son going to jail. Richard was like, I mean... He said, what about this story about Falcon Crest? We don't underpay our workers. He was like, but you do. Chase was like, no, we don't. Richard said, I tell you what, meet me tomorrow. I'll tell you where, and let me show you where we got the information from to write this story. And of course, y'all know Chase. Chase was like, all right, whatever. I'll be there, player. You feeling froggy? Let's jump. Now, Cole is acting like a brat. Listen, Listen. This whole situation with Cole being charged with murder, these are the most calm, they are acting like he is being charged with a misdemeanor, like when Emma got charged with shoplifting last season from the little bracelet from the jewelry store. This man is on trial for murder. And Maggie even says to Chase, do you think we need to get him a lawyer that like specializes in murder cases? Like we had somebody who they're just in a general practice. That's like when you having heart palpitations, instead of going to see a cardiologist, you just go see your regular, your regular general practitioner. They gonna refer you to a cardiologist, or at least they should, right? But Chase was like, we have the right lawyer because he's a local boy. Everybody knows him and trusts him. We got to play politics. And, Maggie's like, ain't nobody trying to play politics with my son. You got Cole running around. He done picked up a part-time job down with the lady who he knocked over all her stuff off the truck last week. I wrote her name down. Devery, right? Don't you have enough stuff to do at Falcon Crest? You picking up part-time jobs. Anyway, he goes to hang out down there with her. Now, let me go ahead and get him out the way. I'm going to go on and knock this out the way. He goes down there to hang out with her. You meets up with the son. And at first, the son ain't had nothing to say. The son was looking at him like, I don't know who you are. You not my daddy. But then the boy playing basketball. And Cole, shoots the basketball with him. And next thing you know, they best friends, child. And then the woman done asked Cole to come and have lunch. And then she done asked him to have dinner. Now, while all of this is going on, Melissa rolls up on Cole while he out there working to let him know, I believe you. I know you didn't kill my daddy. I believe what you told me the first time around. I know you didn't kill my daddy. And, I know I just said that twice, but whatever. And, Cole was like, thank you. I appreciate you for believing in me. It's just so much going on. I'm just so stressed out. Now, Miss Devery, she was peeping this. She saw him talking to Maggie, and she hit him with the, Cole, dinner's ready. I said, oh, okay. We playing that game? Okay, that's what we doing now? Baby, Cole goes in there, and they have dinner. They put the little boy to bed. Cole knocks over the plate on the floor. They both go to pick it up at the same time, and their eyes lock. And they embrace in a heated kiss. So I guess that's Cole's new little boo thing, child. That's his new little boo thing. We gonna see more of Miss Devery, okay? She not no one-time shop type situation. Now, Chase meets up with the lawyer to meet up with the sheriff to find out what kind of evidence they have against Cole. Now, in the real world, there is such thing as discovery, and the lawyer would get that information anyway. I don't know why they acted like the sheriff is giving them some inside scoop or something. But basically, the sheriff was like, listen, Cole was there with the dead body. His fingerprints were on the doorknob. His fingerprints were on the murder weapon. And so basically that's what we have. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. He said, if your son didn't do it, somebody is working overtime to make it look like he did it. So, of course, Chase and the lawyer looking at each other like, whew, what we gonna do? But again, I don't feel no sense of urgency from nobody. Like, if my son was being charged with murder and I had the means to do it, like, bruh, you cool and all, we're gonna keep you on as co-counsel. But listen, get me Matlock. I need the best defense attorney in the country. Around this time Matlock was on. Where's Matlock? Why y'all not calling him? Anyway, Julia meets up with lunch to have lunch with Richard, and she really still ain't feeling it. She know Richard is on some bullshit, and she's like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna see what he doing so he can see what I'm doing so we can see each other. And basically, Richard, hits her with the song and dance about wanting to get to know his sister and all of this. And then he asked her about her stock. And she was like, oh, that's what this is about. You want my Globe stock. And she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not interested in selling. And he was like, well, I can make you a wealthy woman. He was like, she said, I'm already a wealthy woman. He was like, enough money to get away from Falcon Crest so you can go be with Tony. Because, see, he done got a whole file on her and he know all her business. And Julia, that's like a trigger word. Somebody bring up Tony Cumsum to Julia, baby. It's a whole situation. She looked at him. She was like, yeah, I got to go. I got to get back. He was like, listen, I get it. I understand. But isn't it time for you to live your own life? Like, he playing that fiddle. He don't understand. That's the third or fourth time that they hit her, Julia, with that live your own life situation. If she wanted to be with Tony, her ass would have been with Tony, okay? And so then she says that, you know, she don't appreciate that story he wrote about the workers in the field. And he was like, I tell you what. He said, come with me. Chase is going to meet me. And I'm going to show you where I got this information for this story from that y'all keep thinking I'm lying about. She said, I tell you what, if you can convince Chase, you got me. But in the meantime and in between time, I got to roll out. Why? Because I don't really think I like you like that. Now, back down to the house, Melissa is playing games with Angela. She'd already dropped a hint to Angela that Richard Channing wants her land in her vineyards and that she's thinking about selling it. And y'all know Angela ain't here for that because she just thought she had Melissa lock, stock, and barrel. Now, Melissa might be playing checkers and Angela is playing chess, but I'm going to tell you, Melissa getting a few licks in here and there. Okay, I told you they just alike. So, you know, they playing each other and they gonna probably hit a stalemate at some point in time. But for right now, Melissa's got the baby, and as long as that baby is there and Lance can't prove that baby ain't his yet, she good. So she plays this game about natural childbirth and how she wants to go to these classes, and she asked Lance to take her. And of course, when they were behind closed doors, Lance was like, hell no, I ain't taking you nowhere. But the minute Angela showed up, Melissa played the baby card. And Angela was like, Lance, I'm certain you can find time to take your wife to the natural classes. That's what's best for the baby. Now, let me tell you what Lance is up to, honey. Lance is not feeling none of this, okay? Lance done went and found Lori. Y'all remember Lori from last season, the one he wanted to marry? And when he brought her back to Falcon Crest, Angela hit her with the 1-2 punch. Baby, Lance done found her, and he done hooked up with her and told her, listen, I love you and I want to be with you. Yes, I married Melissa, but it is in name only. It is a business transaction, and as soon as that baby is born and I can prove I'm not the daddy, I'm getting an annulment and I'm out of here. And she was like, boy, bye. You know your grandmother ain't having it. And he was like, she not going to have no choice. The baby not mine. What I'm supposed to do? Now, we know that it ain't going to be that easy, but for whatever reason, Lance has convinced himself that it is going to be that easy. Boo. Boo thing. It's not going to be that easy, boo. It just ain't. But she says, you know, I tried to forget about you. And once again, we see these old shows, right? Because he was like, how was the Orient? Now, you know, don't nobody call it the Orient no more, child. They say Asia, they say China, they say Japan. Don't nobody say the Orient. Who the hell still calling it the Orient? But remember, we in the early 80s. That's what it was. So she went all the way halfway around the world to forget about you, Lance. And when she got back, she didn't call you. But you done found her and chased her down. And honey, he dropped Melissa off at that natural childbirth class. Melissa said, you told your grandmother you were coming with me. He said, no. I told my grandmother I would take you. I ain't saying nothing about staying. Honey, he dropped Melissa's ass off at that childbirth class. Told her I'll be back in a couple of hours. Went to San Francisco to see Lori. And honey, they ended up having sex. Okay? But to Lance's credit, he told her what was going on. So she is walking into this situation with her eyes wide open. She knows exactly what it is. Okay? Now, Chase done met up with Richard, right? Down in I don't know what word I want to use, but probably a not so desirable part of the valley. This is where the part-time workers are, right? So Falcon Crest has full-time workers and Falcon Crest has part-time workers. For their full-time workers, they provide them with very nice housing, little cottage area, you know, good situation. They pay them. They have benefits, retirement, pension, medical, all of that. But for their part-time workers, they don't have none of that. They make minimum wage, but they're not getting no benefits. And of course, they pay them right underneath. I mean, you know, they give them right underneath the hours so that they can still be considered part-time instead of full-time. So Richard done set Chase all the way up, right? Richard knew about this, and he even mentioned that the landlord is National Unified Properties. I bet you if somebody followed the paper trail, that property go back to Angela Channing on all of that. But anyway, And he has a photographer there and everything, waiting to see Chance's reaction. Chance talks to the family. He goes in the house. They don't have no indoor plumbing. They don't have no electricity. Who the fuck don't have no electricity in 1980? Like, what? And it's about 10 of them living in this rundown house, right? So, of course, Chase is so shocked. He can't believe it. Oh, my goodness. This is ridiculous. How do people live like this? So he goes to, no, first he goes to Lance talking about something. I want the employee records. Well, no, let me rewind. First, Richard puts that in a paper with a picture of Chase standing there with them people in front of that damn rundown house talking about County Commissioner Chase. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but basically says, you know, that he doesn't agree with what's going on down here, and he condemns Falcon Crest for his practices, right? So of course Angela was like, Richard done set him up. Like Richard know exactly Richard know what he did, and Chase done walk right into it, right? So he goes to Lance to get the employee record. So of course Lance knows exactly what he's looking for. Lance was like, listen, first of all, I don't answer to you. I answer to my grandmother. Second of all, I know what you're looking for, and Falcon Crest isn't doing anything that the rest of the valley ain't doing. We're not breaking no laws. We're not violating nothing. They're part-time workers, and by law, they ain't not entitled to any benefits. Now, let's be clear, y'all. It's the same thing that's still going on today. Businesses pay people, you know, they give them 36 hours a week, 32 hours a week, so they don't get to that 40, and they don't have to pay them no benefits. It's still going on today. So I don't know why Lance even be going back and forth with Chase, because at the end of the day, he know Chase is technically his boss, and whatever Chase wants, Chase gonna have to get. So anyway, he goes to Angela and basically tells Angela, listen, this is a travesty what we doing. Now, y'all, I gotta admit, I was a little torn at this point, because here's the reality of the situation. Angela, from a business perspective, ain't wrong. Now, from a human perspective, that's another conversation. And that's what she kept trying to tell Chase. She was like, listen, this is a business. I'm not a charity case. I ain't nobody's mammy. I am running a business. And this is how I keep business costs down. Secondly, if Falcon Crest starts doing it, we're like the premier vineyard in the valley. If we start doing it, everybody going to have to start doing it. And everybody can't afford to do it. Technically, we can. But they can't. And so Chase was like, well, we're going to do it starting tomorrow. We're going to pay all our employees full-time wages with benefits. Angela was like, I mean, do what you do, bruh. But that's coming out of your profit, not mine. So just be clear. He was like, well, I'm having a press conference tomorrow, and I'm making that announcement. Angela was like, you are on your own. So the next day we get there for the press conference. Listen, Maggie be wearing some badass hats. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to Maggie. Every time there's a dress-up situation, baby, Maggie be wearing the hell out them hats, okay? But Maggie was there, Victoria was there, Chase was there. They had a couple of reporters there, and he's making this grand announcement in front of the same house, right? They're using this house as a prop. The people in the background looking like, I hope I don't get fired. I mean, I ain't making a lot of money, but with a little bit of money I am making, like, I hope I don't get fired. What kind of shit is going on here? And next thing you know, here come Angela driving up in her limo, honey, and she gonna get in on the press conference. And basically, she let it be known that she really wasn't trying to do this, but she got to go along with the get along. And, you know, she got to make it look good for PR purposes, right? But y'all know Angela ain't trying to hear it, right? Now, in the meantime and in between time, they are still looking for Emma, right? Philip is looking for Emma. They traced Emma to Phoenix, but she got on a bus in Phoenix. They don't know where she went. He said, but one thing we do know is we're not the only ones looking for Emma. And Angela was like, well, who the hell else would be looking for Emma? They think it's one of Richard's people. Why? Because Richard want her shares. Not knowing who got her proxy. Chase. So anyway, honey, I think that is pretty much it. Last but not least, we see Richard is laser focused on trying to get Cole convicted, right? He is obsessed with him and his secretary slash concubine, right? They are up at midnight, honey, and he is still barking orders, talking about he want this covered and he want that covered and he want this many people on this story and that many people on that story. And, you know, she hit him with the, well, first of all, I'm not your damn secretary, okay? Second of all, it is midnight. Like, you really doing too much. Third of all, you are really pressed to this issue. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, you got Cole arrested. He was like, I don't want Cole arrested. I want Cole convicted. So, baby, that's where we left off. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.